It's your boy Niko Makaveli, the West Side Don, you dig? And I'm here with Hoodlum Me and T, you hear me?
What? Then my trauma started haunting me. Voices calling while my conscience always trying to speak. Feeling grateful, but I'm thankful.
Alright, so I'm gonna ask you, like, when it comes to, like, you originally from Savannah? I'm gonna ask you that first.
Yeah, I'm originally, I was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina, but I ain't really was like down there for a long time, man. I moved down here when I was still a baby, so yeah. It's home for me, man. For real.
Alright, so even with you, how was your experience growing up in Savannah then?
It was an experience. Let's put it that way. Being from Savannah and being like growing up in Savannah is an experience in itself, man. I grew up in a military family, so we lived on base, but I spent a majority of my time on the west side over there, Silver Terrace, Tatumville, all the way back, because I was with my cousins all the time. My mom worked 2 jobs, my dad was deployed all the time, so I ain't really was home. And so it was, I'm gonna tell you this, man, there's a lot of stuff for you to get into trouble with, man. Like it was, I always found my way into some trouble, especially dealing with my cousins and stuff. Not saying that they brought me into trouble, it was just, you know, we got left at the house, you know. I went from my place, my mama having to work and all that, and my sister not being able to control me, then my auntie not being able to, you know, be at the house because she got to work 2-3 jobs, and then, you know, just us being some badass kids, man. It was an experience, bro.
Yeah. Alright, so then when did the music come into play for you then, as far?
Well, funny story, man. I know anybody that grew up in Savannah, they know Camouflage, man. You know, Camouflage Booger. I grew up with some rappers that started doing some things out here. Shout out to Pharaoh Danny, who went by Danny Green at one point. Because, man, so it was always around me. We always listened to it. So I guess one night, you know, my cousins was playing around freestyling or whatever, and I walked into the room, was listening, and then once they started rapping, I just jumped on in, and that's kind of was like my first taste of it. They was fucking with it and everything, so I kind of just kept going with it, and eventually it just led to me being in class, writing in notebooks, writing bars, beating on the table with pens and pencils and everything. I used to get in trouble all the time, and you know, I could never stay still, man. So just music just ended up being something that I did to release and just get away from the world.
Nice. Alright, so even with you doing the music on the side, like, when did you come to that decision as far as like you want to actually start making it for yourself and putting it out there as far as an artist, making yourself, you know?
Well, it would probably had to been after my senior year of high school. I was an athlete out in Texas. I had just ended my whole career. I shattered my collarbone senior year of high school. I was a top recruit, and ended up losing all of my chances of going to college to play ball. So I hadn't stopped rapping at that point. I had kept rapping, you know, just writing, spitting at the lunch table, all that. So rapping was always there. It never left. It was just on the back burner because I was so focused on sports. So once I lost that, I needed a coping mechanism to deal with the depression of losing, you know, missing out on football and track and all that stuff. So like after that point, you know, I just delved right into it, and I kind of perfected my pen game and my wordplay in I believe it was my 11th grade English class. I was doing poetry, so I kind of went from just freestyling and all that to actually coming up with a structured way of writing rhymes. And so once I got to college, it was just I started realizing, okay, you real nice with this shit, man. So it's like, might as well keep going.
Yeah, I like it. Alright, so even for you then, like, what was the initial reaction when you started, you know, being serious and putting it out there?
It was dope, man, cause like my first real track that I put out was called Rich City, and that really took off up there at Georgia Southern. It kind of put me out there, got me recognized by a lot of people out there that was doing, you know, everything that they were doing and stuff like that. So it kind of put me it put me out there as far as rapping and being in that culture and being in the industry a little bit. Then I was out there with school with the likes of people like Deontay Hitchcock. We were all standing outside the bookstore. We had bookstore freestyle Fridays, you know, Cypher Fridays and stuff like that. So it kind of just, propelled me right into the area that I was trying to be at with music.
Yeah, I I like that. All right, so even when it comes to your music and your process of making it, like, how would you describe the process with you when you're in the studio making a song, or is it like already premeditated? Or?
I'm gonna say 95% of everything I do is premeditated. I'm a very calculated individual. I try to be, at least. So I'm not one of those cats that go in there and just turn on 1,000 beats and just run through them and then try to come up with a song.
Yeah.
I've been around them cats, no offense to them dudes, you know what I'm saying? It just didn't never work for me. It was a different type of process for me. So I ended up really just like falling in love with the pen and the notepad and just taking my time with instrumentals. Like I really just sat there and would write 100 songs in at least a matter of a month, you know. And really I just go to the studio and lay it all out, because by the time I get to the studio it's already been rehearsed 25, 30 times. So that way I like to utilize my time. And you know, the best way, I've always been taught the best way to maximize your time in the studio is to have everything prepared already.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, so even I want to ask you, like, how was your family responding to your music?
It's funny, man, because you know, being like I said, being in a structured household as far as military went, my dad really he didn't really respond to it too well, because he thought I was out here trying to be a wannabe thug or something like that, and that really wasn't the case. Like I was looking at him like, bro, you weren't home. Like, and I'm looking at my mom like, yeah, mom, sorry, you know, this is kind of the you know, the cons of, you know, being a working mother. But it was after a while they started to realize that the music was good. Like I remember the first time I played Rich City for my mother, she couldn't get enough of it. She kept playing it over and over again. So it was after a while they accepted the fact that this was something that I was good at and something that I love and something that I was gonna keep on doing no matter what. So
I got you. All right, that's interesting. I want to capitalize on this. As far as like, do you feel like they responded the way they did in a sense just because you feel like it's a stigma when it comes to rap in a sense, because it's a lot of it. So how do you maneuver through it, you know, with the music you make in your style?
It's crazy though, because like I had to deal with that stigma plus the stigma from the music industry as well. You get what I'm saying? Like I came into the game like rapping and everything and doing all that stuff and talking about everything I've seen and I've experienced, and then people would hear my lyrics up at the college and they'd be like, well, how the hell are you here? And I'm looking at them like, well, what you mean? Like, I made it out my situation. Like, even though my situation at home wasn't the worst, I jumped off the porch and found the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was an experience in itself, having to deal with the stigma from my parents, having to deal with the stigma from the music industry. My mom kind of, you know, she had to accept the fact that, you know, her little baby wasn't no baby no more. And then my dad had to accept the fact that wasn't as clean cut as you thought. So,
with your music though, like how would you say like your music really stands out locally and just like in general?
I say my music stands out locally is because I'm able to straddle the fence with the sound. You know, I can hit you with the lyricism, I can hit you with the trap bangers, I can hit you with the party bangers, because I've done experienced all of that. You know, I done lived every part of that, both sides. So I feel like what separates me from the rest of the crowd is that I stay true to what I'm doing. I don't really follow trends. I don't believe in following trends, even though we all know that's the get rich quick scheme. You feel me? Follow the trend, take off. I really don't believe in that, because at the end of the day, I feel like you sold your soul. And one thing I pride myself is putting my heart and my soul into this shit. So I might as well give y'all exactly who the fuck I am.
I got you, especially if you're going for longevity though, in a sense.
Exactly.
So with your music though, when it comes to it, as far as when you're putting it out, do you feel like you have a message that you want them to take from it, or you know, it's just?
Yeah, man. I always try to stress something in my music. Whether it's if I don't give a fuck if anybody likes me or not, if I feel like I'm one of the hardest in the city, or if I just letting the game know, period, I'm coming after them. I mean, but the overall message I'm trying to get out is just that I'm gonna do as I please, and I'm gonna get this however I need to, and I know for a fact that I got what it takes to be in this industry for years to come.
I want to actually, in a way, alright, because like when I first met you anyway, it came upon like a performance. It was like I said, 3 years back. Yeah, when I first started, it was like at Backyard. Yeah, performing. And like I said, you got the energy of like how you saying like you feel like you're the best, like you're aggressive in a sense. So, do you feel like that's just the necessary energy needed and to be a rapper, or like in Savannah or so forth, just like period? Because you know it's a lot.
I don't think it's an aggressiveness that you need to come with, but you got to come with a type of swagger, a type of confidence that when you step into a room, people either if they don't know who you are, they're gonna want to know who you are. Yeah. You know, and that's something like not a lot of people have known who I am, but when I'm in the room, either they find somebody to ask me or they find their way to me to ask. You feel what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's I'm not gonna say it's a personality, but it's an attitude that you gotta come with. You gotta come with some grit. The city is grit. It's like that's all it is. It's grit. It has its glitz and its glamours, but this city is grit. So you gotta have some grit. Yeah. And people gonna know if you really got some grit about you.
That part, I feel you. Alright, so even with your music, what you saying, like, why do you feel like they gravitate to your music right now so far? Why do you feel like you are the best?
I don't know. I'm not really saying like I don't really stress the whole being the best shit, but I do know I'm one of the top artists out in the city. And the reason why I say that is because I'm always coming with something new. I'm always coming with a new sound. I'm always trying to strengthen my sound. I'm always trying to develop new ways to approach this rap shit. I'm in love with this shit, man. So I feel like people who actually love the music for what it is, they're gonna be successful. I'm not in this for the glitz and the glamour, the money and all that. I just know I got something to say, and I want to be recognized and remembered in the city. And you know what I'm saying? However that comes, it comes.
Gotcha. Alright, so even when it comes to your catalog, like what do you feel like sticks out the most? Because even when it comes to this year, you haven't been like, I ain't gonna say so active, but you know, you done dropped something and so forth.
Yeah,
like,
I say I pride myself on my ability to produce. It's just so, if you look at it from 2017 to now, I've been consistent as hell. Yeah. In my opinion, I've been consistent as hell. I dropped 2 projects in 2017. I dropped 2 more in 20. Really a good year for me. 2020 was kind of like that step back year for me to actually put out a decent project, and that's when I came with Cross My Heart, Hope to Die. And now 2021 it was more so I had stuff in the chamber that I was waiting to perfect, and I just decided to drop. Now what I'm doing is I'm stockpiling. I'm stockpiling and making sure that the drops are correct. You know, I got my single Angel Dust that's out right now, and I got the video on the way for that. Like that's coming in probably in the next few weeks.
Was that the one you had teased that once before?
Yeah. I got that coming in the next few weeks due to some unforeseen circumstances. It should have been out, but some unforeseen circumstances. You know, it's gonna be out in the next few weeks.
Gotcha.
If not next week. I got, like I said, bro, I'm one of those artists I stockpile. If my situation ain't good for me to be recording, dropping, then I'm going right. Then I'm gonna record, then that's when I'm gonna hit y'all. That's just how I function, man. Cause I'd rather have everything done correctly than to be just dropping bullshit.
For real. Quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Alright, even for example, like with 2021, with the tracks that you're putting out and so forth, like the time span that has already expired, 2021, do you feel like you're where you want to be at right now at this moment?
Personally, with my perfectionist ways, man, I should have dropped 2 months ago. I should have dropped the whole project 2 months ago. But after sitting down thinking about it, I'm not in a bad place right now. As long as I'm able to drop, a single with a video, another single with a video, and then hit them with a project, I feel like I've done something this year. But my goal was to drop 4 videos this year. My goal is to drop 4 videos this year, 2 projects.
Yeah, still got time.
You know what I'm saying? I got time, and that's why that's why I'm not too worried. Like I know I got some time, but videos ain't easy. Videos ain't cheap. You feel what I'm saying? Like all this coming out my pocket. You feel what I'm talking about? So, like I said, I got 1 in the chamber. I got 2 already in planning, and then like I said, I got 2 projects I'm sitting on, like legitimately sitting on. they ready to go. I'm just ready for the rollout. I'm just making sure the rollout plan is correct.
Gotcha. All right, so tell me, like, do you think is it like a struggle for you in a sense to balance the music with your personal life and
it's always
take
a struggle. It's always a struggle. It's always been something I've dealt with. Like I lost out on relationships because of music, bro. Like relationships have been a whole issue for me because of the music. I say being able to chase the music the way I want to has been a struggle because at the end of the day I gotta pay bills.
Right.
I ain't trying to have nobody hand out shit to me, man. I'm trying to get it on my own. But at the same time, I think that's just that comes with any type of entrepreneurial endeavor such as this. Like, what you do, you have your own struggles with that, and you have your own tribulations that cause you to not be able to do this full time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you do, congratulations, my nigga. Teach me. You feel me? Because, but like I said, I'm figuring it out. And once I do get in a situation where I'm able to do this full time, I'm telling you, man, the industry in for some shit, bro. I'm telling you.
So even like right now, do you feel like you can get a city like Savannah in a sense, like behind you 100% type stuff to push you out the city and beat that whole stigma? You gotta leave your city to blow up type.
Yeah, I think I could, man. I think what it all boils down to in this day and age, bro. We got so much talent down here, bro. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But we are our own worst enemy. Like everybody want to beef with everybody, bro. And it don't even be legitimate beef, in my opinion, dog. It just be it be to end up on these blog sites. It be just to push a record. It don't even be legitimate. Like I can see if two niggas is legitimately beefing, then you know what I'm saying. Let them niggas handle this shit how they need to handle it.
Yeah.
But if it's not legitimate, like I don't even pay that shit no mind, bro. Like. At the end of the day, I've said plenty of times, man, the biggest problem with Savannah is the fact that don't nobody want to support nobody in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And you got those people out there that got the city on lock. I tell you that. But I know for a fact, man, I can bring a different type of vibe, bro. Because I love the city too much to just separate it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got my side. Like I said, I rep the west side. That's my side of the city. But at the end of the day, I love the whole city as a whole. So I do this for them. And everybody can say that or whatever, but this city done made me who I am, and I ain't taking that back from nobody.